And today's topic will be on new equipments for efficient livestock management. And I would like to now introduce our speaker tonight for our this webinar. Uh, Dr. Meenakshi Sundaram, as I said, is now working as Professor Ended Livestock Farm Complex, Canvas, and he finished his MVSc in Livestock Production and Management and PhD in Livestock Production and Management, Diploma in Livestock Technology and Farm Management, Israel. And SAR's major field of specialization is livestock production and management, and his specializing field is small ruminant production. And he has won so many state and national awards. In state awards, he has won Best Tamil Science Writer Award 2008 and national awards, Senior Research Fellowship ICAR, Best Oral Presentation Award in the National Seminar on Prospects and Challenges in Small Ruminants Production in India, National Fellow of Indian Society for Animal Production and Management. Today, Large Animal Veterinarians Association, LAVA, is very happy to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Meenakshi Sundaram, and hopefully sir will enlighten us about all the current management practices which are quite efficient for our Indian conditions, and all the new instrumentation and farm equipments which are very useful for efficient labor management and practice all the management practices. I welcome our guest speaker. Welcome, sir. You can now start the lecture, sir.
So, good evening. I am very happy to involve with the Large Animal Veterinary Association of Tamil Nadu. And I am very happy that the veterinarians, they are also interested in farming side. Normally, veterinarians, field veterinarians, they will be more interested in practices, they're clinical oriented. But it's good that they are showing interest in towards farming. And today's topic is new livestock equipments for efficient livestock management. Before actually going to the topic, I'll divide the entire thing into phase 1 and phase 2. In phase 1, I will be briefing about what is the University Innovation and Instrumentation Center and what we are doing there and what are the different types of implements being manufactured, fabricated and sold to the farmers. Part 1. And as per your expectations, in phase 2, I'll be briefly giving some sort of tips for dairying. And since it's the first class, let it be an introduction. And based on the outcome or after my talk, you can give your feedback. If you want any specific topics, like for example, housing alone, housing of livestock or housing of cattle or feeding management, all these things, then we can take it up later. So first to begin with, so I will give about our University Instrumentation Innovation Center. So this is a center which was initiated by our my friend and respected registrar, Dr. Tenzing Yanraj, who is the predecessor in my post. He was heading the station before I have come over here. And he has only started, taken the initiative, and we are taking it forward. Okay. The thing is that they started in a very modest way back in 2015 with just 3 lakhs as seed money as a revolving fund scheme. Subsequently, we got that Dr. Tenzing Yanraj has got fund from NADP to the tune of 75 lakhs. With that, we are able to purchase the basic equipments for fabrication, that is the cutting equipments, the folding equipments, and welding equipments. All these equipments we have purchased. And up to today, so far, we have fabricated and sold 1,420 equipments to the stakeholders. I am telling the stakeholders in the sense it includes individual farmers, government institutions like Krishi Vigyan Kendras, our university centers. Not only within Tamil Nadu, we are also selling our instruments to up to Kerala and up to northern states also. These thing. And to drive the point, I am just insisting that based on the performance of our center, last year our unit has been bestowed with an order of to fabricate the 2,000 units of low-cost hydroponic device and 385 model units plus 500 numbers of trevises. So all these total project, total worth is more than 8.5 crores. And I'm happy to say that we were able to finish the task within the targeted 1 year period. And the thing is the trevis we have installed throughout Tamil Nadu. So we are not only fabricated, we have taken the things to the all over parts of Tamil Nadu as given by this by the Department of Husbandry. And I take this opportunity to thank all the fellow veterinarians starting from the assistant director, JDs, ADs, assistant directors, up to field level veterinarians for their excellent cooperation in executing the project. So my team is myself, Meenakshi, I am heading the station. Along with me, Dr. Venkatramanan is associate professor, basically a geneticist. And they are all Sudharan, Parthsarthi, Nahappan. They are basically very basic. It's a very small team. As such, we don't have any technically qualified other than ourselves. They are all basic things. But the thing is, they are very good in their work. And if you tell one good idea and if you give the design, they will be making it to our expectations. And at this point, I am telling all my colleagues, professional colleagues, that we are open to ideas. And at the end of this session, I'll be sharing the total number of devices. Almost we have devised more than 113 devices so far. I'll be sharing the list. And you can pick up whatever the need you want, number one. Number two, you can just go through the things, and if you have anything, any ideas, innovative ideas that we can change it over, we are open to that also. If it is worthwhile, or if it improves the efficiency or reduces the cost, we can do that, number one. Another thing I want to tell all of you is, if you have any idea, to fabricate any equipment or anything, we welcome you. We can sit together and we can design and we can go even up to patent. Already we have applied patents for 7 or 8 items, and almost 3 or 4 they are in the pipeline. Okay, and some of the stages they have crossed the first line, they have been accepted, but we are waiting for the final result. So this is for another information. And to highlight, why I am highlighting hydroponic fodder is the last year we have given more than 2,500 units to all the stakeholders in Tamil Nadu. And there are so many myths about hydroponic fodder. Okay, I just want to, very briefly, I will tell what is what. Hydroponic is producing fodder without land, very simple. Okay, and within a very small area, without very limited water, we can produce quality fodder. And why hydroponic fodder? We are not suggesting hydroponic fodder as an alternative to the conventional fodder. The thing is, all of us know that in Tamil Nadu, most of the parts are drought prone. And during peak summer, we are left with no other choice except to go for some alternative to give quality green fodder for our livestock. Only in that, to tide over the critical period, we are suggesting hydroponic fodder. Okay. As far as utility, so we have conducted our own trials here. In addition to sustaining the animals during the hot summer, especially in small ruminants, we have proved that they are improving the reproductive efficiency. I think this holds good for large animals also. You know that in summer already the quality of nutrients will be very low, and whatever the dry fodder the farm will be giving will be very low in nutrition. So if you give hydroponics, definitely in addition to sustaining the milk production, it is also going to sustain the reproduction. That means it will make the animals to come to heat. And some of the feedbacks what we get from the farmers, there is those who are using hydroponics. Very recently, some of the farmers they have told that they have given the feedback that hydroponic, the animals which have not come to heat, which was anesthetized for the past 6 months, they have started showing symptoms, and that gentleman has inseminated the animal. Okay, this is for your information. And the main constraint is as far as technology is pakka, there is no doubt about that. Okay, but the only constraint is the seed cost. So you know that maize is quite costly. And for that, what we are doing is, you can also tell the farmers, either if they are having their own land, they can go for cultivating the maize on their own, number one. Or if they are having other choices, we are not telling that through hydroponics we can raise only maize. You can go for cowpea, you can go for sannam, we can go for ragi, anything you can. You tell that farmer also. If they are producing any of the grains or on their own, then it is no cost effective, number two. And another thing is, you can tell them that they can purchase the maize during the season when it is available plenty and at a reasonable cost, especially during start from October to November, December. This is the period. They can stock and they can do it. So I just want to tell these things for you. And this is a very simple thing. Okay. And these are the different components. We are having trays, that is plastic trays. And the machine that has been supplied is the low-cost machine that is it is able to produce around 20 kgs per day, and totally 48 trays will be there. And each day you can harvest 6 trays. And the thing that has to be ensured for successful harvesting is you have to ensure the quality of maize seeds. If you are doing any problem means what that will be leading to failure. So if you are ensuring proper quality maize seeds, 80% of the job is over. Then small problems that is coming in the blockage in the water lines, that can be solved. And previously we were not having any timer. Now recently we have also incorporated timer. So the main advantage is the farmers can just set the timer and they can leave the machine as such. The only thing is they have to see to it that enough water is available in the drum. And the timer is adjusted or fabricated in such a way that it will be springing water 1 minute for every 1 hour. That will be sufficient for the machine. So next is this very important thing that is going on very well. Cow lifting device. So I don't know, I do not want to overemphasize the importance of cow lifting device to veterinarians. This is a very simple device that is capable of use of the hips. And it is quite adjustable, you know, sir, the very small calf. So since we don't have any problem in our farm with the large animals, So this is the photos that I had. We have taken in one farm, and with the lever, the size according to the size of the animal, it can be adjusted. So these are the this is a simple device used to lift recumbent cattle. The cattle can go for recumbency due to any reason that you know better. And it's made of GA and iron pipe, and it shall be adjusted to the hip size of the animals to be lifted. And we have fabricated for 3 types of models. One is first lifting device only. Some farmers, maybe poor farmers, they may need only a simple device. Others they can fabricate. For those, we are coming with only the light lifting device. For that, the cost is around 8,500. And next, we have added chain pulley, and that is cost around 17,000. And with what you are seeing is the complete thing with the device, that is the pulling device plus pulley plus triangle stand. The complete thing costs around 23 rupees. So you can advise for very big farmers, or this can be given for the block level veterinary dispensaries. So whenever the crisis arises, it can be shared with the things. But the thing is, this is a very useful thing. If I am correct, this sort of thing is not available readily in the market. Okay. And this we have designed for the field at and the Department of Animal Husbandry. So what are the things we have added to the conventional traverses? So used to restrain cattle and buffaloes. Here, provision is made for intravenous fluid stand and tray for keeping AI equipment and dressing materials. This is the thing we have added. In addition, closed type travis for horses also we are manufacturing. As far as the travis is concerned, this is the prototype we have manufactured based on the need. And if you ask for any specific thing and if you are coming with the designs, we are ready to manufacture you, fabricate you for your things. So that the point I want to insist here is, in addition to the standard set of things that we are manufactured, we are also manufacturing or fabricating tailor-made equipments for the farmers. So this is a milk feeder for young calves. So normally farmers, they won't practice day old weaning. Day old weaning is practiced only in commercial farm. And if at all you come across any commercial farms, you can recommend this. The good thing about this thing is the teat has been designed in such a way that it simulates as if the cows are suckling milk from the mother. So normally it will not be. So if the calves if they press the teat, the milk will not be flowing. So they have to give the same pressure as if they are suckling from the natural teat. So this since this resembles the natural thing, so the health of the calf is not affected, and it also prevents wastage of milk. So this we have designed for this. I have displayed here for only calves, but we have designed a similar thing for goats and sheep also. For goats and sheep, it is definitely, even for commercial farmers, you can strongly recommend. Okay, this will be that same thing will be there with multiple nipples. So at the same time, 7 or 8 or 10 to kids, they can suckle milk from the same pot. So this is infusion pump. Very recently we have fabricated. The basic design was provided by our Dr. Vijay Kumar, our clinician, that is recently transferred to MEC, HOD of Namakkal, just 2 years back. So this is a very good device. That the thing is a restrictive cost. So some of the things are very costly because we are not manufacturing in hundreds or thousands. So we are managing this infusion pump as per the requirement. We have just manufactured 15 or 30, 50 if I'm correct. So if you go increase the numbers, if there is heavy demand, for example, your infusion pump, there is definitely a scope for decrease of the cost. As said, this cost 13,000 rupees, but it is quite useful for the large animal practitioners. This is designed to infuse large quantities of fluids to the large animals, highly useful in oral drenching of large animals. And this is also very important thing, and it is especially made of flexible material for infusion of intravenous fluids. Normally, if we actually calculate the fluid requirement, I know most of the field veterinarians, if at all you will be giving, not we, why we, you, we will be giving in the field level. So before that, I tell all of you that I worked as a veterinary assistant surgeon. I have started as a VAS, my career. In 1 year, I worked as VAS in Pudukkottai district, Memisal. Okay, so don't see otherwise. I am also a part of your group. Okay, after that only I got the post of assistant professor and came to university. And in the field, normally you'll be going for 1 or 2 bottles. And the animal normally a crossbred will be weighing around 300 kg. And high-end animals they'll be weighing around 350 to 400. Buffaloes even up to 500 kg. And if you actually calculate the fluid requirements, it runs around 7 to 8 liters. But due to want of time and other practical difficulties, we will be restricting the actual quantum of fluid. So only to tide over that, this has been defined, that is fabricated for rapid intravenous infusion of IV fluids. So within half-liter bottle, within 2 to 3 minutes, will be within no time you can finish. So it will ensure the right quantum of intravenous fluids to be administered for farmers in a very short period of time, and will be very useful for practicing veterinarians. Especially it will be very useful during the time of dehydration, colic, especially poisoning. So you'll be infusing a lot of fluids for dilute the poison. So especially most of the poison you do not know the actual reason. The basic things you'll be going for dilution with fluids. So during that periods, this particular rapid intravenous administration fluid will be said to be highly useful. So this is another important device. So the LPM, we have studied about all these things, how to take the body weight. So to know the right body weight, you have to go for the right, that is, measure the actual weight with the platform balance or balance, any balance. But even in the organized farms, no farm will be having any platform. And the other method, what we are suggesting is to go for LG squat by 300, LG squat by 600, all these things. Okay. But again, if you come to accuracy, they will be highly, again, questionable. So based on that, again, this the basic prototype has been given by Dr. Jyokumar. And it serves as a ready reckoner to measure the body weight of large animals, cattle. Especially when you are calculating, you want to calculate the arrival fluid dose or dose for any specific drugs. And if you actually know the worthiness of the animal while you are purchasing, normally sometimes just by look of the animals, it may be the actual weight may be misleading. So especially when you are purchasing the animals, for example, if you want to purchase animals for milk production, and the animal that gives around 50, if the animal is more than 450 kg only, then only you can expect anything around 10 plus kg of milk. So it's very highly useful. And we have tried here, and it suits, it has been designed for crossbred cattle. It will not give accurate results with buffaloes and indigenous breeds. Okay. And the thing is, you know that our milk production in Tamil Nadu is from more than 80% of the milk production in Tamil Nadu is from crossbreds. And whenever we are talking about dairy animals in Tamil Nadu, the relevance is only crossbreds. It is quite obvious. So having that in mind only, we have designed this. And the accuracy is more than 90%. In some of the animals, it is almost 100%. Just we are even with the heifers. I'm not telling about that. Higher animals will be higher. But even with heifers, that is recently we are taking weight of our experimental animals. With heifers around 1 year to 1.5 years, the accuracy is more than 90%. And with the crossbreds, heavy crossbreds will be 94 to 95%. Okay. And the thing is, it gives the weight of the animals both in kg and pounds, and it will be very handy, very easy to handle. I strongly recommend all the fellow veterinarians. It is readily available right now. We have made around 1,000 plus stock is available. You can purchase. So this is a very, very thing, especially small ruminants. I'll just go through this. So the thing is, the kit, the lamp is it is for a nest box. It is mainly made up of wood. There is quite a Kodak wood, made up of slatted floor with slanting way for calf, and it is having a small door that can give access only to the kids or lambs, and adult animals cannot enter inside. And all of you may be knowing that kitting or lambing invariably coincides with winter season. And as far as my personal experience goes, the lamb mortality or kit mortality will be starting after 10 days. Maybe you can say after second week. Up to first 10 days, practically no mortality will be there, except in cases where the birth rate is very low or the kit or lamb is very weak at the time of birth. Otherwise, normally the mortality of the lambs or kits starts only after 10th day or second week onwards. From second week up to 30th, 5th to 40th day, it is a really critical period for the lambs and kits. So leave alone lambs. So as far as lambs is concerned, I have worked both with the sheep and goat, and lamb mortality is quite negligible. Even in organic farm, even if the management is not up to the mark, since they are giving birth to only one animal, so tuning is very rare in breeds in Tamil Nadu, and they'll be supporting. And another thing is they'll be giving in birth to lambs only once in a year. So obviously the lambs will be quite healthy, and the mortality will be very less. But as far as goats are concerned, and if the farmer or the livestock farmer is a little bit careless, he has to, especially commercial farmers, if they are not taking the right care, they have to close the farm just because of getting the mortality. So it has been designed to provide, to give ideal warm and hygienic environment for the kids, and it also provides good ventilation. So we have given provision for ventilation, and provision is also made for sterilization, and the light provided inside gives warmth. And if you say, I have noticed in my farm, if the climate is very chill, just by seeing the behavior of the kids, you can know whether the temperature is comfortable or not. If the temperature is comfortable, all the kids will be outside. They'll be just roaming around here and there. And if the climate is quite bad, automatically they will go inside and they will resting inside the nest box. This I have witnessed myself. And after this installation of this nest box in our own farm, we are able to control the mortality in kids to a very large extent. And of late, commercial farmers and entrepreneurs, they are purchasing this the nest box. So this is a very important and useful device for small ruminant farmers. And as such, we have designed for whatever we have, the model we have designed is, it can accommodate 10 to 12 lambs. But based on the size of the farm, you can have more number of kitting lab, whether it's nest boxes, or you can also, if the farmer wants, you can also reduce the size just to accommodate for a small farm 4 or 5 kits, or we can also go for at the maximum of 20. It can accommodate 20 kits per at a time. So the point is, so whatever the model you are having right now, and if you are, if the farmer or entrepreneur, or yourself, you are coming with a specific requirement, you can change the dimension accordingly. Okay. So this is so those are the LPM we have taught about the importance of ectoparasites, what they harm, and I was telling about kit mortality. And if you ask me, this is one of the real villains. I can say, I will repeat the word villain, since I have myself experienced a lot of mortality in kids due to ectoparasites. And among ectoparasites, ticks will not be a major problem with young kids. So if I am correct, my observation was correct. The main problem as far as ectoparasites are concerned in small ruminants, especially kids, is fleas. You know what is fleas? They'll just fly away. And if the infestation is severe, you can see the numbers in thousands. If you just take the lamp or a kit, and if you just pass your fingers across the hairlines, you can just, especially in the line area, you can find out the number of, you can find out the severity of the problem. So the thing is, what normally we have taught in LPM classes. So whenever we are having a sheep farm or goat farm, we have to go for a dipping tank. So dipping tank is a very massive structure, and minimum as per the design, if you go for correct construction with cement and other materials, it will cost 1.5 lakhs. So nobody can afford that. To tide over that only, we have come out with a movable dipping tank for commercial sheep and goat farmers. So it has been designed to reduce the cost of construction of conventional dipping tanks. The provision is for training of used solution. Normally, it goes waste. And what you can do is, you can, after the dipping is over, you can take the used solution and you can spill it over the farm. And before here, the important point I want to mention is, normally for dipping of animals, we will be using the concentration of 2 to 4 ml per liter of water. But this concentration will not be sufficient to disinfect the area, at least the floor areas. You know that any chemical, any disinfectant, anything, they will not act in the presence of organic matter. So after once the dipping is over, again you add medicines and you increase the concentration. And after that you drain the solution and you take the solution and spray in the walls and floor area, etc. etc. If you are just taking the drained solution without enrichment, it is going to be waste. So the concentration that what we are using for the animals will not be sufficient for removing the ectoparasites that are adhering in the walls, floors, and other spaces. You just remember this point, okay? And is quite cost effective and suitable for medium and large scale sheepcote farmers. It is quite mobile and you can place it at any place of convenient location. And it costs around 24,000 rupees. The thing is, ordinary or not, the farmers who are having just 4 or 5 animals, they can't afford it. But commercial farmers who are having around 50 plus animals or 100 animals, definitely they can purchase this thing. And for large scale, the small scale farmers, you can, if they are farming a congregation or they are having some association, something like that, you can always advise them to purchase as a community input. Some 10 or 20 farmers, they can have it, they can purchase and they can keep it as a community input, and that will serve the purpose. And it's very useful in control of ectoparasites. And for all my colleagues, I am telling, as far as dipping is concerned, based on the severity, you have to go for dipping once or twice in a year. I am repeating the word based on the severity. But as far as the kits are concerned, don't wait for the regular dipping schedule. So as far as the kits are concerned, after first 15 days, you go for one dipping, then repeat after 15 days. So irrespective of whether you are dipping the adult animals or not. If you are doing that, you can ward off the nuisance from ectoparasites, usually fleas, and reduce the mortality that occurs due to ectoparasitic infestation. So this is my personal experience also. And for young kids, you advise the farmers, young kids, they do not go for the dipping tank. They can have a small mug or whatever it is, just 10 or 15 liters capacity. They can mix the solution and they can dip it and they can leave it. Okay. So I don't know how many of you are involved in pigs. So piggery or pig farming is quite becoming famous, especially around suburban areas. And the main point is the thing is in suburban areas there will be a lot of hotels will be there and restaurants, and they can get the swill feed. So the point I want to insist here is, if at all people are going for commercial swine farming, they should have enough amount of swill feed. And the main problem that farmers are encountering in unorganized farms is mortality of the piglets. So it's a real menace. If they are not taking proper care, they will be losing around 18 or 25, up to 25 to 30% of the piglets due to just crushing. Okay, this is a real menace. So for that, we have come out with this farrowing grate. So you see, this is specifically designed. You see the floor is made of polypropylene, and in the sides you can also put the paddy straws. Okay, so it will keep the floor at any given point of time damp free. And the thing is, the farrowing grate restricts the movement of the mother. But if you see, for the ethics point of view, it is not good for the mother. But the thing is, ultimately you have to save your piglets if at all you want to run the farm in a profitable manner. So the space that has been provided on either side of the grate gives the living space. Whenever the mother piglet that is sow turns this side or that side, it gives the space. And as far as our experience in our farm right now in Madhavaram, I can say that piglet mortality is quite negligible with the provision of foraging reeds. In all our foraging stalls, we are changing to foraging reeds. So it is better than, I think you have studied about guard rails. Guard rails is nothing but just a pair of two iron tubular rails on either side of the, on four sides. There is 1 feet away from the wall and 1 feet above the floor. But when compared to that guard rails, this foraging rate is very good in controlling the mortality. But the only thing is the investment is quite high. But you can very strongly recommend in commercial farms. This is a very simple device. Okay, so I don't know how many of you have experience in running behind that is taking the pigs from one farm to one shed to another. It is very, very difficult task. You know, they don't have any rope. They can be, okay. The only thing is very simple thing. You can give the direction with this pad, and you can just move the animals wherever the place you want to go. It's a very simple device. And large animal means some of you may be also interested in small animal also. We have also designed for our small pet practitioners, dog washing and cleaning tub also. This is full and full made up of stainless steel. And especially when people are going for hi-fi type of that is clinics, they can go for this. So in addition to that, I have whatever thing that I have told is only brief things. And as I already told you, we have fabricated around 113 plus equipments in our fabrication center. And after the end of this session, I'll talk to your office bearers, and I'll be sharing the entire thing with the PowerPoint. That is that is the type of material, how they are made, along with their dimensions, their makeup, whether they are made of wood, whether they are made of GA or iron. And in addition to that, the cost, everything we are having a booklet. I'll be sharing you after this. Now, so your colleagues, I have seen your consultation before the start of this Lava TN. And all of you in need of some tips. Whenever a farmer, they are coming for consultation for, I want to start a dairy farm, I want to start a goat farm, etc., something like that. So in that, I have just ordered some basic things, and I'll be sharing with my experience whatever I am having with you. And if you want anything specific, you can take up in the subsequent classes. Okay, now I will start with the dairy. So when X or Y comes and asks you, so I want to start a dairy farm. So assess the individual's background. So whether they are well off, whether they have sufficient land. Okay. So the thing is what, people without any interest, people who are thinking that animal husbandry will be giving a lot of money, they will be coming and approaching you. You tell them the basic of the things, especially as far as you tell what is the quantum of income that can be generated from dairy. For example, dairy, you tell them point blank, from a crossbred good dairy animals, you can get around anywhere between 2,000 rupees to maximum 3,000 rupees per month. That's all, nothing more than that. So why I am telling is, so I have been approached by so many film personalities and other people. So they were coming with a lot of expectations that if they pump in money in animal husbandry sector, it will be multiplying in so many fold, like geometrical multiplication. So you tell the first fact. So the thing is what, some of the persons who are approaching you may be knowing the fact, or some of them may not be knowing the fact. If they tell that, then they'll go back. If they are not convinced, means the thing is they are coming with the preconceived idea or wrong thing that animal husbandry gives a lot of money. You tell that it is not like that. If you have this much number of animals, this is the amount you can expect, number one. Okay. And another thing is level of interest. So whether they are interested, you tell them that if at all you want to start a farm, you should know about the ABCD of husbandry, that is animal husbandry. You should know what is milking, you should know how to feed the animal. You can also direct them to undergo trainings. So the thing is what our university, that is all our university farms, that is Livestock Farm Complex Madavaram, our Katapakam farm, and all the farms we are giving a training called skill development training, wherein we give them training for a period of 1 month and we charge 1,000 rupees per person. So based on their level of interest in their particular field, they can choose either dairying or sheep or goat. So they will be taught some basic things. You can tell them this type of training is available. Or you can tell them basic training in KVKs also they have to do. You can tell them. So if they are quite interested, if they really want to do the business means, let them have a basic first-hand information about the thing that what they are going to start. You just insist them that you have to do that. The next thing that you have to ask them is whether they have any previous experience. So persons who just know that the cattle is having just 4 legs, they will also on coming and approaching you that I want to start a very big dairy farm. If that be the case, it is going to be utter failure. Don't encourage them. So if they have previous experience and interest level, then you proceed. The thing is, so many persons, non-serious candidates will be coming and seeking your advice and wasting your time. You just guess them. You just assess them. That is the basic thing I want. This is my experience. That is why I am sharing this. Next thing is land holding. Why I am telling this is, so I have been approached by persons. They have came over to me and asked me, sir, I want to start a dairy farm. When I put the questions, what is your land holding? Sir, 2 grounds, 3 grounds, 5 grounds. So I have to laugh at them only. So you have to tell them for having animal husbandry activities, you tell the standard land size. For example, for dairy, for if at all they want to have a dairy, they have to have minimum of 1 acre of land for every 10 animals for fodder alone. At least 5 acres, at least 1 is to maximum, at least 1 is 15. So the standard is 1 is to 10. And if you tell me, then they'll know where they are standing and they'll take decision accordingly. Okay, without knowing their background, don't give the advice. Then ask them whether they have any concrete plan for marketing. The thing is, as far as dairy, it's a highly perishable thing. And as far as dairying, as far as commercial dairying, and some of the persons they'll be telling that, sir, I am having marketing channel here, Avin is there, and Komada is there, Hudson is there. The thing is, for small scale farmers who are having just 2 or 3 animals, maximum 5 animals, they can afford the price that they are getting from the so-called organized marketing people. Otherwise, if they are going for more than 50 animals, that means the cost of the labor and other things very high, and they will be invariably employing labor only. And if that be the case, any private marketing channel will not be profitable. So if they are having a dairy for more than 50 or 100 animals, you ask them to go for direct marketing. If they are not going for direct marketing, if don't have any provision for that, if they are just tying with Avin or some other thing, just tell them it will not be profitable. And you will be finding it difficult even to break even. You just take point blank. This is the real fact. Okay. And if they have anything specific in the marketing, then you can proceed further. And this inquire about the farm size plan. So, for example, 50 animals or 10 animals, 50 animals, you tell the plan. And another thing is conventional dairying or modern dairying. So, as you are told that the persons who are coming, they are going through the web and searching so many things, and they know at least theoretically so many things. You tell them what is a conventional dairying with the 40 or 50 animals. Modern dairying, what is the basic difference? So the modern dairying implies automation, very simple. So milking is automated, okay, feeding is automated. And the cost difference, for example, in the conventional dairying, and the people will be going for animals which are giving around 8 to 15 liters. They'll be costing around 50 to 75,000 rupees. And they'll be going for a conventional dairy shed, wherein the cost will be around 25 to 30,000 per animal. I am telling, okay. But if you go for that modern, so-called modern dairying with ultra-modern facilities, the thing is, it is entirely different. So they have to go for high-end animals. High-end in the sense, animals which are giving minimum 15 to maximum 25 liters, number one. And the cost will be more than 1.25 lakhs around as per the present marketing thing. And the cost of construction of the buildings and other infrastructure will be equal to the cost of animals. For example, if they want to go for a 100 animal dairying means, they have to invest 2.25 to 2.5 crores. It's very simple, you tell them. So they can decide where we stand. And another thing is the modern dairying is, so for your information, I have visited Israel. I know what is modern dairying is. I have been given a diploma also. And I have also visited so many modern dairies in Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu also. And if I am correct, nobody is there. Nobody is in a very comfortable position. So some they are burning their hands. So as far as dairy is concerned, it is a small scale thing or medium scale up to that. If the large scale means if they have very private marketing channel, etc., you can advise them. Otherwise, modern dairying with very high cost of inputs, what we are going in European countries is not fit for our country. Even in Israel, as per my inquiries, my learning there, the cost of milk production with that ultra automation is not less than our milk production. So the point I want to insist is, we are producing milk in a fairly reasonable cost when compared to the modern dairying. And still the European dairies, and they are in the business means, they have been given a high subsidies by their respective governments for feed, all these things. As such, in India, government has not come for any type of subsidy for dairying. If that be the case, the modern dairying with very high infrastructure is not advisable. You tell them in the point blank. Okay. And tell about the capital requirement. That's what I have told. For conventional dairying, the cost is the cost of animals and cost of animal will be around 75 to 80,000. The cost of infrastructure in terms of buildings, etc., will be half of the cost of animals. But in modern dairying, it will be 50-50. Okay, that is 1 lakh animal cost means 1 lakh will be infrastructure cost. Okay, and land requirement I already told you. And as far as the land requirement for fodder development, for every 10 animals you need 1 acre. And as for the shed, animal sheds, you need 100 square feet per every animal. 60 square feet for animal alone, there is a shed alone, and 40 square feet for storage of storage room, etc., etc. For individual animals, you need around 100 square feet. Okay, accordingly, you tell the land requirement to the farmers. And water requirement, there are two types of requirements. One is for fodder, they have to have sufficient water. For that, you have to ensure that. And the thing is, all our fodders, commercial fodder crops, that is Co3, Co4, Co5, they are all water intensive. Unless otherwise they have assured water, they cannot go for irrigation. So dairying goes with water. So if the area highly water-starved areas, dairying is, especially commercial dairying, is not an option. And as far as water, just for requirements for individual animals, for drinking and other purpose, it is 120 liters per day. That is drinking and cleaning, etc. And for irrigation, for 1 acre, at least 5 HP motor with 24 hours irrigation you need. And as far as water requirement, again, I am not advising any type of sprinklers or Fargus type of irrigation. They won't be sufficient. You have to go for flood irrigation, conventional flood irrigation. Then only you can get the right quantum of Co3 or Co4 as per the standards. The standards are for every 1 hectare of land, you have to get 350 to 400 tons. And if you are not getting that, again, you are wasting a lot of money. Okay, you tell them that the point is they have to have a fertile land as if they are growing any crop for our human purpose. So you tell them, and again, you have to ensure the quality of water. As far as the quality for animals, so the maximum hardness it is allowed is up to 300 to 400 ppm. If it is more than that, it is going to affect the production of the animals. Not immediately, in the long run, it is going to affect the production of the animals. So the water, you have to ensure 2 points. One is quantum, next is quality. That is sufficient water in good quality. Okay, you have to ensure that. You tell that point also. And the next question is whether to go for cattle or buffaloes. This is the thing. And you may be knowing, and you are going to the aspect of the latest census, we are having very less population of buffaloes as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. Whenever we are talking about dairy, it is only cattle. And buffaloes, you can advise in areas where there is humidity is quite high and where there is good water. So water is there, and high humidity they can quite tolerate. And the thing is what, if the area is not, especially around the waterways, around the river beds, you can advise buffalo farms. Otherwise, in very high temperature areas, you don't go for buffaloes. And the thing is, they can have a mix of both. For example, if they are having around 40 or 50 cattle, just to make up the milk fat, they can have a handful of buffaloes. The obvious advantage being, so you know that the buffaloes will be taking some feed with some lower quality, and what are the waste that is from cattle feed that can be utilized for buffaloes. If that be the case, you can go for buffaloes. Otherwise, in areas, waterways, if there is a lot of water pollution, you can advise buffaloes. And again, now there is a lot of awareness among the people after Jellic and all these things. And so even people are coming here and asking, sir, whether I can go for indigenous breeds. And there are people are telling that we can go for A1 milk or A2 milk, all these things. The scientific fact is all the animals are having A1 and A2, and the indigenous breeds are having more of A2 and less of A1, whereas crossbreds are having more of A1 and less of A2. This is the fact. But anyhow, as per my feedback, even we are having a good number of, there is 10 Gir buffalo cattle in our farm. So far, so good. We have purchased in January 1st of 2019. And just we have purchased in 1 month, within a month of after calving. And you know that is, now it is June. Out of the 10 animals, you have 10 animals you have purchased along with the calves. Out of the 10 animals, 7 animals, they have given birth to animals. You just know the reproductive status. That means the point is, they are good at reproduction, number one. I am telling about Gir only, okay? And the thing is, they are giving around 7 to 11 liters. This is the average I am getting, okay? And the animals are quite robust, and they are very adapted to the high temperature, high humidity temperature, high temperature, high humidity climatic conditions. That is, that will be there any coastal area to our area, okay? That is one thing. And if they are crossbreds, they will be, next question is HF or Jersey. And for high, if they are more bothered about the quantum of milk, not about fat means, you can advise them for HF. And again, you have to see that it is like a champion. So it is heavier, and their ordinary HF will be more than 400 kg. So the management will be little bit, the management aspect, they have to be a little bit careful. And if they are doing any mistake means, there will be a lot of loss. And as far as Jersey is concerned, the yield is comparatively the yield is less, but they can get more fat. But management part also, they will be adjusting to optimal management conditions. You can tell that. And as far as the breed, again it is a $1 million question whether to go for Jersey if it is indigenous breed. And as far as indigenous breed, and if they are quite interested, you ask them whether they will be getting a premium price for the milk. Now, I have been told that I heard that in Erode areas, people are selling indigenous milk, Thar Park and Gir milk around 80 to 120 rupees per liter. If that be the case, if there is a ready market, and I'm also seeing in the media, in around Bangalore also, the people are giving even bottled milk in pure indigenous milk around 100 rupees. If that be the case, you can advise them indigenous breeds. And again, the way I'm telling is, the yield is, as far as Gir, this is my experience, it is 7 liters is assured. So I am recording here, you can come and read the things. And other breeds, I don't know about availability, especially Sindhi, I don't know how far you will be getting. But Thar Park is quite available, but when compared to Gir, it's quite, the yield is less. Sahiwal will be getting a good amount of milk, but again, the availability is a question. As far as Gir is there, if you go to Jaipur and Rajasthan, that is, and Gujarat, you can get good breeds. There are so many commercial breeders are there, brokers are there. They are having their animals, and you can go over there. They are allowing us to see the milk for 3 consecutive days. We have only purchased like that only. We have gone there and we have seen to ourselves the animals are milked in front of our eyes from morning, evening, and the subsequent day, morning also. So only after convincing that the milk production is good, we have purchased the animals. And so far so good. We are also lucky, I can say. And the animals' performance is good as for Sunday. So this is the thing that I am having for you. And if you are having any other special queries, you can always welcome. I welcome you. So this has been planned for 1 hour. So I have prepared accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There has been some question and answers posted in Q&A session section.
Okay.
You can open that and you can see the questions, sir.
So rapid intravenous tube you can get from myself. So we are only manufacturing here. Okay, you can get it here. Okay. Bull we have not tested. Sorry, but as far as cows it is giving. Bull we have not tested. You can if you can purchase and tell. As far as the measure there is. Cows, it is giving 90% accuracy. So, is there any possibility to design automatic thawing flask? The thing is what you just give your ideas, or you can have a design. You just send it me. We will discuss with our people, and we will let you know that whether it can be possible or not. Okay. How can I apply pipe for removal of gas? So there is a knob will be there. You can attach the. I think we are not designed for removal of gas. Okay, you can attach the trocar and cannula like that, and you can remove it. Cost of body weight measuring tape is 500 rupees plus GST 520 rupees. Ramasamy, la? Okay. So the contact number is this my number only that you can have from there. Kindly share availability and contact number for all these equipments. So as I already told you, I will be sharing my all the details, especially the details regarding all the equipments available, their cost and how to purchase. Normally, we are giving a there is a bank account number. You can just NIFT it, and you can send it by courier. Or we have standard transport persons are there, Pure, etc. We can send it. So, as far as the things that are readily available, within no time we will be sending. For others, we will be taking around, based on the type of material that you are asking, we will be taking around 30 to 40 days. Within that time, we will be making the thing and you can purchase. Sir, share any idea to design a travis which avoids spillage of dung over the clothes, especially pants and sarees of female veterinarians by providing a curtain. This we will explore. Definitely, I will explore and let you know. Definitely, I will know. It is a good idea. Okay, definitely, I will let you know. Formula for body weight calculation: LG squat by 300. You will get in pounds. L, there is length of the animal from point of shoulder to pin bone. And G, girth of the animal just behind the forelimbs. LG squat by 300, you will get in pounds. LG squat by 600, you will get in kgs. Okay, normally you will be using LG squat by 300. It is quite accurate in case of transports. Okay. So nice. Government of Tamil Nadu provides subsidies. The government of India, Tamil Nadu has provided subsidy. And in that scheme only, I have supplied 2,500 units. And out of that, 75% is borne by the government of Tamil Nadu. And remaining 25% is given by the individual farmers. And that scheme is over. And if any new schemes comes means, then again we have to let you know. The rapid infusion set is reusable. It is reusable. Otherwise, it is reusable. Okay.
There is ideal height of to maintain.
Okay. So this is a very big question. Enlighten about the ideal height to be maintained in cattle sets. So there is nothing is ideal. So the height of the animal building is designed by the local climatic factors and etc. etc. And the thing is, you have to take into account the local climatic factors, air, wind speed, etc. Okay, but the thing is, normally we will be restricting up to maximum 15 feet at the ridge level, and that is maximum I'm telling. And at the eaves level, it will be around 8 to 12 feet. Okay. So as such, we are not come out with any devices for obstacle cases. Okay. And if you give any designs or anything, you can send. You can explore the possibility of designing that. Cost. So, so I will be letting know the cost. It will be there, but it is available. The availability is there. So within a very short period, we can give it. Cost and availability, milk feed, we can give it. So I will be okay. Sir, could you share the equipment cost details along with soft copy of? Yes. I already told you. I will be sharing all the details. That is the type of material, the cost of the individual materials, and how they are made, utility point, and their cost. All these things in soft copy is there. I will be sharing with you, with your Dr. Kanyapan and Dr. Sivaraman. All the details I will be sharing with you. Okay, no issue. I am using Tanwa skip lifting device for past 2 to 3 years. Sir, I want full cow lifting device attached to the device. Some prototype available around E-Road, sir. You want fully designed machine, sir. Can you design method? So I am also happy to see you here. Okay, and I can do it. Another. The complete Tanwa's hip lifting device is it is right now available. Okay, and you can purchase. Okay, it is there. But the smallest, the cost of the smallest version that produces around 20 kg per day is 22,500. This is the lowest thing that produces around 20 kg of hydroponic fodder per day. That will be sufficient to maintain 2 dairy animals per day. Okay. Again, we are not manufacturing such a type of equipments. Okay. Okay. Any other material is available for commercial swine farm? Okay. Fogger is available. For the water spraying device is available. Okay. For summer management. Okay. So for testing our university, there is a translation lab for TRBVB, translational platform for veterinary biologicals is there. And my friend Dr. Sendil Kumar is there. You can contact, and they are doing on a cost basis for A1 and A2 milk. Okay, I will let you know. I'll share the actual phone number and other things that you can contact number for that testing of A1 and A2 milk. Gun for IM injections. So right now we don't have any idea for intramuscular injection. And if you have any prototype that you are having anything innovative, you can always send it, and we can explore the possibility of saying that. So what will be best dairy platform space foundation? What would be the best possible measurement for the dairy farm platform for cows? So the best possible is as per the length, it is 6 feet. As per the width, 4 feet. So the international standards, even for high-end cows, even I visited Israel, even there they are giving 4 feet width-wise, 6 feet length-wise. The 24 square feet is the actual standing space for the animal. Okay, and you leave alone the space for manger, etc., etc. This is the actual space for animals. Okay. Poultry incubators, as such, we are not manufacturing; we are only outsourcing. Okay, but anyhow, we are outsourcing and we are supplying. No. Animals also not like eating hydroponically grown fodder because of bad smell. No, it is not correct. All our animals, right from cattle, sheep, goat, including pigs, they readily eat hydroponically grown fodder. So I don't know what is the problem with your fodder. And as far our experience, there is no rejection, 100%, and cattle and buffaloes, they are all taking the hydroponically fodder. And if there is bad smell, means there will be something problem with fungus development, etc. You have to see with the machine. Otherwise, it is no problem. Okay. How to make animal? Okay. So I can have a class. We can have a class exclusively for housing of large animals in one class. We can discuss all the individual minute things in there. Okay, thank you. So if the salt water quality is not good, means you cannot do anything. So you have to go for again this water treatment. That will increase the add up on the cost. It is not possible. The thing is, you have to have good water. Okay, salt water is not fit for animals. Okay. Uterine washing container as such you don't have, and if you uterine washing container, if you give the design something like that, some prototype, we can manufacture. We can make it. So Asola production, we are having small, yes, we are having the trays and all these things. So for Asola production, we are having the basic things. Okay, you can have it. So for it is not, again it depends on your need, and for every 1 kg of hydroponic fodder, you will be getting 4 to 5 kg of green grasses. So normally in the machine that what we are giving, attending to the farmers, it is 6 kg per day. So if you are able to get give 6 kg, it will be giving around 20 to 24 kg of green fodder per day. So for the machine, you need 6 kg every day. Okay. I will be sharing your email ID and contact number. I will be sharing all these things. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so Asolam Chirita.
Water scarcity land, which is best breed.
Water scarcity land, which is the best breed of choice.
Indigenous high yielding.
Indigenous high yielding. If you are able to support the animal, means Gir or Tarpark you can select. Gir or Tarpark. Hydroponic cost effective. It is not cost effective as such. So the thing is, it is designed to come over the critical period. And if the cost of, if you are producing maize on your own, it is cost effective. And if you are purchasing the maize in the right time, the right season, it is cost effective. Otherwise, it is not cost effective. Clear? Okay. Conventional cattle farm will be definitely it will be a profitable for new farmer, newcomer. Yes, definitely. Conventional farming will be profitable for a newcomer.
Is there any other questions?
Any questions? I am ready to answer.
Majority of implements seems cost prohibitive.
So as I have told already, majority of the implements are cost prohibitive, means we are making just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So if you make around 100 only, you can go for bulk purchase of basic equipments. Okay. So that is the only thing. And if you give more orders, you will reduce the cost. Very simple. But the thing is that these equipments you cannot get anywhere else. That is the other thing. Okay.
I think you have answered all the questions, sir.
Yes.
No more questions, and we are very thankful to you that you have spared your time and come forward to educate all our practitioners of Tamil Nadu, and not only Tamil Nadu, from North India and from Bangladesh,
Okay.
and Malaysia also. There have been participants
Okay.
in our webinar, and in future we are also planning to purchase this Roman extraction pump and IV set, rapid infusion set for our practitioners
Okay.
to be given, sir, and we will certainly place our orders on behalf of our associates. As our Vijay Kumar sir has already suggested that when you give a bulk order for practitioners, we can get at a very reduced price,
Yes,
so
okay.
that it will be both beneficial for our university and also for our practitioners also. We will definitely consider it and we will order for our practitioners in future.
Okay.
And now I request our Dr. Sivaraman sir, who is chairman of our technical committee, to thank our speaker and our sponsors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your nice and wonderful presentation, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
And it will be an eye opener for all the practitioners. What are all the equipments which are available for the farming practices? So in future also, as you have mentioned, we can go in depth regarding the housing
And
feeding management
Okay.
individually, so that everyone can get a hands experience on the farming management. So on behalf of our Lava team, I extend my wholehearted thanks to your wonderful presentation, sir. And I also extend my heartful thanks to our Krishi feed for their continuous support. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Saraman. And I also thank for giving me opportunity. And I think some of my students might have also heard me. Okay. And it's an opportunity for me. And we will have a continuous association. And if you have any specific queries and specific topics, let me inform well in advance, and we can meet again. I am taking the opportunity to thank you. And I am also thanking my own colleagues here who have supported me to give this nice presentation. Thank you, Saraman and Kanya of the Lava team. Thank you.
Back to Dr. Tanigavel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we will proceed with the next webinar on Saturday, coming Saturday, on a topic on medicine. And thank you one and all for joining this webinar, and we will end this meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Performance by an actor in a leading role.
Ladies and gentlemen,